Hi and welcome to MyCTOfriend, the place where non-technical founders build successful startups by improving their tech management skills. I'm Amory, and today I'm going to answer a question from Mary, the co-founder of a legal tech startup. Her question is, how do I add a chat feature to my app without having to develop one? Before answering this question, let's add a bit of context. Mary is working with a freelancer to build her web platform. She wants to add a chat so that users can have one-on-one conversation and create private chats around different topics. Her freelancer is wondering if he should develop his own solution from scratch or reuse existing software. To clear things up, let's analyze what a chat tool requires. It needs real-time conversation interface, notifications whenever you come back, mobile notification or SMS, email notifications, and chat history. To go through with this, you can use two different strategies. The first one will be reusing open source components. You will still have to deploy specific server-side application and fine-tune tools that might have been developed to fulfill a different purpose. And the second option is using SaaS solution. These are indeed paid solutions. When it comes to building a startup, I personally prefer to choose the best solution for each need. Developing your own chat system will take weeks or months to your developers' time to come up to something reliable. On the other hand, certain companies are specialized in producing chat applications. They are even considered experts. They will be better than you will ever be building a chat application, and they share the development cost among all of their clients. So in other words, I prefer spending a few hundreds per month as opposed to spending thousands with freelancers and develop a custom chat system. So before moving to SaaS solutions, let's see what your developers need to set it up building it. The first things to consider is that conversations happen in real time, and web protocols like HTTP haven't been created to connect 24/7 to your application. So in order to have a real-time conversation without having to constantly refresh the page, there are two techniques. You can use the so-called long pooling. This principle is simple. It's like asking the server for a web page, but instead of sending back the web page content immediately, the server will wait 10 or 30 seconds until a message comes up. This technique is compatible with mobiles and every web browsers, but it's quite slow and takes up a lot of bandwidth and server resources. The other option is to use specific protocols like WebSocket or XMPP. They perform better, but are not compatible with all devices. And if your application is in PHP, for example, you will need to have an extra piece of software to handle these protocols. So if you are looking for the best possible performance while building your own chat system, I recommend your developer to use the open source library socket.io. It makes your software all around compatible by adding the advantage of using both HTTP and WebSocket protocol whenever it's supported. Second things to consider is managing the notifications. Your customers might like to get notifications on mobile, desktop, or browsers, or maybe via email when not online. So you will need to deploy notification service. There are hundreds of solutions out there that simplify this process. Just use one of these. Some of them can also manage SMS notifications. And the last things to consider if you want to build your own chat application is to integrate or develop the real-time chat interface and handle the chat history. This part might be quite specific to your own application, and this is where your developer will have to get the most work done. Now there are only a handful of all-in-one solutions that can help lower the amount of development and get your application ready sooner. Don't get me wrong, you will still need some development, but much less than if you were to compile open source solutions. Only a few ready-to-use solutions will allow you to use your own user database. That's why I recommend you to use Twilio or Talk.js. When building your application, you might also consider future improvements like sharing some files, doing voice or video calls, or even screen sharings. Twilio, for example, integrates all of these and make it very, very convenient. So to conclude, if your startups need to integrate chats between its users, I highly recommend you to use Twilio or Talk.js, since they will save your developers tons of time. And go for custom development or open source solutions only if you already have a large amount of users and you can't afford a high SaaS monthly fees. And if like Mary you have a specific question for your project, just go ahead and ask on myctofriend.co/ask. I will do my best to answer a question by video or to redirect you to existing content that will answer it. And also be sure to go through other content on MyCTOfriend.co to learn more from real startup growth experience and better manage your startup development. Waiting for your question, I look forward to seeing you in other videos. Cheers!